Hey there, I'm Arancello, and today I'm here interviewing the one and only Bebe Wood, who I was so lucky to meet through the purposes of my YouTube channel, which sounds really strange when you think about it, but in context, it's okay. So hi Bebe, I can see you on the camera over here. So on my camera, it looks like I'm talking to a wall.
I'm in my closet right now.
Well, it still looks great.
Thank you.
Okay, so first things first, how's your day been?
My day's been pretty good. I went out to eat and get some supplies for a cheeky little party I'm having tonight for the premiere of the Real ONeills, and I'm just having a few family members and friends over, and we're gonna watch that. I'm very excited. It's kind of scary, but nonetheless exciting.
Yes, it is very exciting, and we will get back to that in a minute. Okay, so first of all, it was weird getting to know you as a friend because I have actually watched one of your shows before, and, I loved it, just so kudos to you. So when I realized it was you, it was like, whoa, this is someone I've seen on TV.
I've been watching your YouTube channel, so it was sort of the same experience for me, I suppose.
Okay, so the first thing I want to ask, because in the show, The New Normal, which was the show that I saw you in, it was by Ryan Murphy. It was on Fox, wasn't it? Yeah. So you're essentially you're a child actress, or at least you were kind of back in the day. You're more like a teenage actress now. So how old exactly were you when you started acting?
Well, I started off in theater, so I started off acting when I was 4. I think I did my first acting lesson because actually I went to England when I was 3, and I saw a production of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang on the West End, and I was like, oh man, this is kind of cool because the child catcher tapped me on the nose in the middle of the show because I was sitting in the front row. I was like, I'll get you, Kitty Witty. I was like, oh my god, I want to do what this guy does. So for my 4th birthday, I started taking acting lessons here in Kansas. But professionally, I started acting when I think I was 9 or 10.
Okay.
And yeah, that's sort of when I got started.
Yeah, so was it easy for you to to balance out schoolwork with your acting at the beginning, or did it get harder?
It definitely was a weird experience, and the funny thing is, I think when I was in the 6th grade, I thought it was harder than it actually was at the time, and it was a weird experience because you're on set for 9 to 10 hours a day, and then you also have to balance out school because you do it's sort of crazy and difficult to explain, but you have to do a minimum of 1 hour of school a day, although you're supposed to get 3 hours of school a day done, or you have to use your banked hours.
Every normal person in the world is so jealous that you have to do 1 hour of schoolwork every day.
But if you do 1 hour of school, then you have to get your hours from the bank, which you have to go into school and bank on the weekends and bank 5 hours of school to put it in your bank, and then you pull out the bank you'd pull out money from the bank to fill in the rest of the 3 hours. But the bad thing about that is the bad thing about doing only 1 hour of school while you're at work is then you have to go home and finish the rest of your school and then learn your lines for the next day and get ready for that. So it certainly is difficult, and especially now since I'm in high school, it's a little crazy. But I think I'm just gonna do school through the summer this year and try to get ahead, so I don't have to worry about it as much. But yeah, it's a little crazy, but it's fun.
Yes, so it's more difficult because if you only do the minimum amount of schoolwork, then you essentially have to just catch up with the required amount of...
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
So is that still, is it harder now? 'Cause you were saying you're in high school. Is that way more difficult? Because I know high school is a very crucial part of young adult life.
Yeah, it's not as difficult as I thought it would be. I have an amazing studio teacher who is on set with me, was on set with me because we've finished filming now. But she was great. School really clicked for me like that first semester because she's just such a good teacher. And yeah, you have to have a studio teacher on set with you. She's like also like your guardian, like besides my parents. A studio teacher always has to be like within eye and earshot of you for safety reasons. And so yeah, it was pretty difficult just because I have like tests that have like hundreds of problems on them and like yeah, but it's worth it. I mean like everyone has to go through high school, so I'm sure like everyone relates. But yeah, it's sort of difficult and scary that I'm going to college soon. But I'm having a surprisingly good time.
Yeah, well, college is the next adventure. Okay, so something that I am really excited about, which you briefly mentioned before, is the Real ONeills, which, you know, we've talked about that in our personal conversations, and like at the time of this interview, it's going to premiere tonight. Like, that's exciting. I'm so ready.
Excited.
So okay, so tell the audience like a bit about the show. Just
well, it's about a Irish Catholic family, and their everyday life. The church and like their parish and the school that they all sort of are involved in. They're basically the ideal, the perfect family, and I'd say that the other families would look up to them, and at bingo night, all hell sort of breaks loose, I suppose, and they sort of, I don't know, reveal their secrets, and get real, hence the title.
The Real ONeills.
Yeah.
Get real, ONeills.
ONeils, yeah. And it's sort of about, I don't know, like finding themselves as a family. The parents get a divorce. My character is like a kleptomaniac, and she has a charity and takes all the money for herself. The eldest brother is anorexic, and the middle child is gay. So, it revolves around Kenny, the gay child, and his sort of journey of like coming out. And he was so scared, but it's sort of turns out that everyone else's secret, I guess, is worse than what he thought would like be like coming out as gay. You know what I mean?
Yes, like your character pretending to be collecting for a charity and then stealing all the money.
Yeah, like buying cars.
Buying cars.
But yeah, that's what the show's about. It's really funny. I really enjoyed working on it, and
yeah,
I'm super excited.
Okay, so this morning IGN was reviewing it. I think they reviewed the first 4 episodes.
Wow.
What struck me was they made a reference to something about Catholic controversy, which apparently there's some sort of group of Catholics who are trying to boycott this show.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about that. Is it rightfully deserved, or is it just completely nonsensical?
I don't think so. I don't think it's ABC has gotten like over 90,000 phone calls and letters telling them to shut down the show, take it off. Like, and it hasn't even been on yet, which baffles me.
They're gonna put you out of the job.
Yeah, like before it even premieres. But no, I think it's ridiculous. Like, obviously they are entitled to their own opinion. But they think that we are making fun of Catholicism, and in reality we're sort of just shining light on a family who happens to be Catholic, and I think they're saying that because the Real ONeills, who are the O'Neill family, that because they are Catholic and dysfunctional, I think they think that we're saying that every Catholic family is dysfunctional, which, you know, in reality, everyone is their own thing. If they're dysfunctional, cool. If they're the perfect family, cool. But, you know, in reality, every family has their problems. And if they're a Catholic family, you know, I don't think the religion really has to do with the fact that they have family problems. But I think it's a very relatable show. I grew up Catholic. I'm not offended by it. In fact, I think it's hilarious because it's so relatable, you know. They make a joke that the priest drives a Lexus, right? And they're like, oh, that's not relatable. No priest does that. They have to, you know, live by this code, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, that's not true. The priest at the church I used to go to drove a Jaguar. Like, it's a really relatable show, I think. And, you know, maybe they'll see it and change their mind, but I think we're always going to sort of have that.
I think that's the case with a lot of shows. Like, you even got people upset about Steven Universe, so...
That's so random.
Yeah. Oh, okay, so finally, where do you think, like, the Real ONeills, in terms of, like, I don't know, say there's a family dinner of sitcoms, where do you think it sits at the table, like, compared to other sitcoms?
I don't know, you know, we were getting a lot of people saying that, oh my god, this show isn't profound enough. It isn't making that much of a statement. And honestly, I think the point of the show is that it is supposed to blend in with the other family comedies on the network, because I think that's what the show is trying to say, is that it's not a big deal if there's a gay character. You know, 2% of shows on any network has gay characters, which just baffles me. I think it's like 2%. And you know, they're saying, oh my god, since this show has a gay character, it's supposed to be really profound and we're supposed to be making a statement. But I think that the statement is, there's a gay character and there's not this much of like it doesn't just revolve around the fact that he's gay, you know?
It's trying to blend into, like, the natural way of things.
I think that's what they're just trying to say. Yeah, is that we're not trying to make a statement, this is just how life really is. Getting real. Like, I just, no. I hope it, you know, goes far. I've had the best time doing it. And the cast is just fantastic. I've never worked with, like, better people. Everyone's just great.
Absolutely. If you could compare it to anything, what would it be?
I think the style of comedy is sort of like, I don't know, I want to say like Modern Family or Blackish, somewhere along those lines. You know, it's sort of the speed and tempo of an ABC comedy.
Yeah.
Hence the fact it's on ABC. But I don't really think I can compare it to anything. I think on the network it's sort of its own thing, although I think each comedy on ABC is completely different, yet they're all the same tone almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's gonna be it's gonna mix well with the other shows. And honestly, I really hope people like it. I hope that out in the Midwest somewhere, you know, I just hope it, since it's on sort of like one of the most popular networks in America, that it'll maybe change some people's minds here in like the Midwest, and maybe like help a teenager who is gay and going through the process of coming out. 'Cause I think the characters are really relatable. Yeah, you know, my character.
Your character is like a thief.
Cars, but like, she also questions her faith, and she doesn't know if she really believes in the Catholicism. So each character has their own sort of, I don't know, relatability. You know what I mean?
Their own struggles, yeah.
Yeah. And that's what I think the show's really about.
Well,
Really?
we'll start petitioning for a season 2, even though it hasn't even aired yet. All
I
right.
hope so.
Well, I will thank you very much, Bebe. You've been an absolute
you.
star. Okay, so
You have to. You're so good at this.
thank you. First time interviewing, guys. Okay, so everybody go watch The Real ONeills. Where does it premiere? It premieres at 8:30 or 7:30 in Central. C does sound for Central, doesn't it? The little C at the end. I'm not making that up. And that's on the ABC network, okay? So thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Thank you, Bebe, and stay tuned.
I'm gonna pop balloons. Only got 20 bells in my pocket. I'm hunting, looking for the one. Just that shit, I caught one.